In this video, I'm going to be explaining to you why the current January 2021 PMP exam is a lot easier than the previous PMP exam that was given in previous years. My name is Andrew Ramdiel, and I'm the author of this book, the PMP Exam Prep Simplified. This book you can find on Amazon. This is for the current PMP exam. So let's get into it. What I'm about to tell you in this video is based on feedback that I've gotten from students that have taken our classes or read my study guides and have taken the new exam in the previous couple of weeks. So this is going to be starting, this exam came out in January of 2021 or January 2nd, 2021. And I've known quite a few students, about 12 students that I'm speaking to that have taken this exam and have given me some great feedback on it. And after listening to their feedbacks and grilling them a little bit, I should say, on what type of questions and how the questions was worded and the topics. All after the feedback that they have given me, I have determined that, you know what, this exam is actually easier. And I've actually spoken to quite a few students that have taken our previous courses and just didn't get a chance to take the exam. I had some students that took the course in December with us for the old content and then ended up just taking this new exam and have passed it and actually said, Andrew, this was a lot easier. I spoke to one student that even failed it before taking our classes back in November, took the retested test in January, so they know the old one and the new one, and said, you know what, Andrew, this one was a lot easier than they actually found in the previous exam. So why is that? Well, the answer really is there's less to memorize, but there's more to understand. So understanding is the key, not memorization. And in my opinion, that's what's going to make this thing a lot easier in terms of just study time. You see, previously studying for a PMP exam meant that you probably had to read the PMBOK quite a few times or read my study guide or anybody else's study guide quite a few times because there was just more stuff to memorize. You had to comb through these study guides. You had to know all your 49 processes. And if you're a PMP certified already, you know what I mean. You had to memorize all these processes, all these inputs, tools, techniques, and outputs. You had to memorize quite a few different diagrams, like how to do critical path methods and so on. So with the January 2021 exam came the change of PMI doing 50% predictive project management. They did 50% agile and hybrid. So what they did was they reduced a lot of the memorization questions. In other words, if you memorize this term or you know what's in this document or you know what this process about, you get the question right. They reduced all of that and put it more into a scenario, situational question that if you understand the concepts of overall project management, you will be able to pass. This I call the project management mindset. If you have this mindset of what it takes to answer a PMI question or be a good project manager, whether it's traditional or an agile project, then this exam became pretty easy. The mindset is something we cover in our courses, something that I have written in the back of this book. What exactly is this mindset? So if you had that, if you went in there with just this mindset, knowing some of the terms, knowing some of the processes, this exam is a lot easier. So let's just talk a little bit about Agile and why by the inclusion of Agile on hybrid projects made it a lot easier. So first of all, Agile is just a lot simpler to learn. Agile in its nature is supposed to be simple. So Agile, it's a very simple process. Like if you understand the Scrum process, the Scrum artifacts, the variety of different meetings they have, and this is something you could learn relatively quick. I could teach you the entire Scrum process and most of the Scrum terminology in about an hour. So if you know that and you review the study guide or the PMBOK or anybody else's study guide, it doesn't have to be mine. If you review the Scrum process, review the Agile artifacts, I should say, review the PMBOK processes, but you have that mindset, you understand what you're reading, you could go take this exam relatively quick. In other words, before you were going to study for 2 months or 3 months and memorize a whole bunch of stuff, not anymore. Know the mindset, understand it, and you'll pass this exam. Another thing people say, what about all these formulas? One of the surprising things I heard about this new exam was quite a few students said they didn't even use a calculator. Just, you know what, I should say this, you should still memorize your formulas, but you're probably not going to be calculating a whole lot of them on the exam. You probably just want to know them exactly what they mean. Like if I say an SPI of 0.6 or a CPI of 1.1, what does that mean? If you know that, I think you'll be more than good enough to pass this exam. All right, so just to sum it up quickly, why is this exam a lot easier? Really simple. Because there's less to memorize, that decreases your study time, but you need to understand more. And as a project manager, I think we should have a good understanding of what we're doing. So remember something, don't memorize it. Make sure you understand it, and you would pass this exam on the first try a lot easier than it was on the previous exams.